Hey guys, it's Frank here with another user-submitted replay. This one's from Phlebuster. Go check them out on Twitch. They are a longtime supporter of the archives and my personal channel as well. So, huge part of the Stormgate community. Definitely a big friend of the channel. Show them as much support as you can. So here we've got Phlebuster, our blue Infernal player, against Wallace, or just Wallace I've been calling him, our red Infernal player. So an IvI. Nice to see some mirror matchups every now and again. People talk about balance between different factions, but it's hard to say that balance between two of the exact same factions. Like, you can't say that one race is imbalanced against the other if it's a mirror matchup. You know what I mean? Anyway, Phlebuster going for the early expand, and Wallace going for the early vault. Wallace is the... Wallace is, he's the one that showed me, anyway, that throwing down production structures on your ramp as an Infernal is pretty smart move. It can be pretty effective. Oh, we're having the Hex and Tickle fight here. We have 2 extra imps worth of DPS for Phlebuster. Oh, and the skull's just not going to be fast enough to catch that. Or is it? Ah, there we go. Okay, so it does land. No way. All right, we're gonna keep an eye on that one. Oh no, but the Hexen grabbed the cabbage. Phlebuster's Hexen's about to go down. Woo! All right, we got one fiend out. We're gonna get another fiend out too. Oh no. Oh, Phlebuster's gonna get away with this, like, absolute greed. Oh, the Hexen goes down for Wallace. No! So yeah, not only is Phlebuster ahead in eco. Oh, and he was gonna try and do a little Shroudstone rush too, but our boys, the Fellhogs, are not gonna let that happen. And the Brood as well. Yeah, now we've got a couple of workers. The eco's coming online for Phlebuster. This is looking really good. Was that the other Hexen that went down? Yeah, it was. All right, so the couple of these fiends that did get an upgrade in 1.3.1. Anyway, yeah, these fiends are doing a little bit more damage than they maybe once did, but that was a couple months ago. Or it feels like a couple months ago. Man, the holiday season is just a weird time warp. Alright, we're seeing all kinds of production coming, some extra production coming down for Phlebuster, another Conclave, Iron Vault. Oh, we've got nothing in the main, though. Okay, so this is just the stock standard 1 Vault, 1 Conclave. Same thing we've got here, but Wallace is staying on 1 base. I think he's committing a little too hard to this aggression. I think he understands that he's not going to be able to... Yeah, like, that Brute chasing through the Shroudstone, I don't think is a prudent use of DPS. Okay, oh no! I think what would have been the smart move is to take all these gaunts and move them up into the main. There we go. But do we see a Ritual Chamber? Oh no, it's not even done yet. I was going to say Plague X's, if you've got Plague X's researched. Okay, so he's getting a little bit of damage done. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Oh, no, these gaunts are so squishy. Does manage to get another imp. The boys were briefly pulled, and we see 1 imp doing not a whole lot. Meanwhile, back at Wallace's house. Okay, so he does have Plague X's started up. Alright, another Conclave's done. Oh! We see a... I don't know if that's a new effect or not, but the glowing effect that happens on the Conclave when a unit gets trained, like the whole building kind of flashes a little bit. Very cool looking. Alright, Phlebuster finally taking his first camp of the match. Gonna get that health camp up and running, while Wallace does the exact same thing over here on the energy regen camp. I used to wonder why some players would want the energy regen camp when they have no business like getting like, look, this composition needs no energy regen, but the reason they got it is because those oozes drop therium. Um, so having a bit of a therium boost to your eco. Wait, brute, cabbage. I keep saying that I'm gonna integrate a cabbage counter into the overlay here, and I'm sure I will one of these days. But it's today is not that day. You know what? Maybe I will spend like 30 minutes learning some Photoshop. We'll get a little cabbage counter in the overlay. Oh, okay. Wallace does get his own health camp, which is nice. Okay, so he threw down his natural and his third almost at the same time, which I think is going to spread him a little bit thin, especially considering that his supply is quite a bit less than Phlebuster's. Phlebuster looks like he's taking the Luminite camp here. Okay. Oh, and we're starting to see the Shroud Highway come forward from Phlebuster. I really love seeing when Phlebuster's actually, I think, one of the players does the better job of creating a Shroud Highway for his army, so that even if they're on the retreat, those Gaunts can still stay on Shroud and still be infesting things. That being said, okay, yeah, it's Reaper's Rush next. So it looks like Plague X's is already done. And the third for Phlebuster is also going down. Okay, this is turning into a... I think they're all settling down for a long winter's Stormgate match here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it looks like the natural and the third for Wallace is going to finish up. Oh, the natural's been finished. That thing's completely saturated now. Now it's a matter of getting that third up and running. And the supplies have seemed to even out as well. And Wallace is actually ahead in Therium. That being said, 335 is maybe a little bit high for an Infernal player. You want to keep that a little bit lower. Phlebuster's going to mow the lawn here to get into the center. Get through that candy shell to the sweet, creamy center of Secluded Grove. And not going to see any of the resources there being exploited. So, going to take his Magmadon and go back home. And he's just going to keep on building up his army, I guess. Alright, Shroudstone going down. You know, I'm starting to wonder, actually, if it makes more sense defensively. Like, say that you're playing as Phlebuster, would it make more sense to break down these trees yourself, so that way you can see the enemy coming, or does it make sense to like just leave them up? Because they both know it. I mean, it's almost the 9-minute mark. Both sides have a way to like cut down trees. It seems like it would almost be better to know that they're coming and not have that like surprise of enemies showing up at your third. It seems like it would be better to just be able to see them coming. Then again, the alternative to that is what if they mess up how they break through that tree line? Because if the Magmadon just goes straight through and he wants to start getting damage done right away, that creates a much smaller aperture for the rest of the Infernal units to get through, and then they're like all of a sudden they're fighting into a choke, which sucks. So it adds, I guess, minor skill expression, but yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think, though. The Shroudstone's getting upgraded into a Wraithstone, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Looks like all is well. They're both kind of hanging back. Oh, Phlebuster going for a fourth. As is Wallace. Man, they're just having a great eco game here. Phlebuster kind of starting to pull away a little bit in terms of supply. But their armies are nowhere near each other, I think. Man, Phlebuster though. This Shroud Highway is something else. Oh, okay. All right, I'm Wallace. Loads up his Harbinger with a whole bunch of gaunts. Oh, is it the double Doom drop? The double Harbinger drop? I think it is. Okay. This will be an interesting choice because if he can catch out this base over here, that'll be quite the catch. Now the army of Philibusters down here at the 6 o'clock. Oh no, there we go. There we go. Oh, throws down an emergency superstone. One gaunt goes down. Second gaunt goes down. Third. Looks like a lot of the damage from these gaunts. Sorry guys, I had to mute my mic. I've been coughing up a storm. Got a little sick over the holidays. But yeah, finally the army of Phlebuster catches up to these Harbingers and they're chased off. And it looks like it was a lot of yeah, there was a lot of damage done there for not a whole. Oh no! What? Oh, was that a couple of Shadow Flyers that caught them? Oh, and they were still full of gaunts too. That's a bit rough. All right, we do see a couple of these Magmadons getting. Oh, we're gonna see a Nightfall Infestation here. Phlebuster's charging on forward with his Magmadons. The Weavers are doing their best to yoink the Magmadons and stun them to keep them from using their stomps, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Meanwhile, the Weavers on the front line are trying to do auto attacks against these 1Z, 2Z units, and they have gotten a damage buff, and their damage has been bracketed between 5 and 200, I want to say. So they're not doing, like, you know, very minimal amounts of damage, but it doesn't matter. We're seeing these Hellborn being able to lob in some shots from the way back, and I'm Wallace successfully defending, and now the supply is definitely going into Wallace's favor here, and he's also way ahead in terms of resources, or Luminite anyway. And I think a counterattack would be in his best interest, to be honest. Yeah, go attack. Or at least get the cabbage. All right. Good usage of the lawn mowing. Interesting that the cabbage doesn't get affected by the stomps. Okay, so now I'm Wallace gonna find the Shroud Highway here. And does Wallace have charge for another stomp into the third there? He does, but I actually really like this Sim City where it's like, okay, you can break through the trees all you want, but if you want to get to the imps over here, you have to like fight through all these fell hogs and like through these tiny little chokes, which is going to be such a pain considering the Wraithstone is right there. And so that's going to like slow everything down on top of slowing things down, getting through those chokes. I like this little Sim City on Secluded Grove right here. I hope more people do it. Pathogen nullification. Where is it? There we go. Okay, now I'm Wallace going for the center resource, the central resources here, which is pretty cool. Definitely wants to increase, you know, what he's making here, but I think I think he's just got so much Luminite he can afford to throw down like one or two Iron Vaults and Conclaves each. Like, just throw them down. Have that ability to just pump out more units because your economy is about to be way ahead. You're going to want to be able to spend all that. Unless he's saving up Therium to make a dragon. Okay, so we do see the Twilight Spire just got a charge back. We are up to Elder Shrine now. Okay, so we do see a dragon out for Phlebuster. And Phlebuster has caught back up and even passed Wallace in terms of army supply. Yeah, Wallace, you got to spend your money. There we go. There's the dragon coming out. Every time you see that huge drop in resources like that, that's a dragon. Okay, but this is a lot of debuffed infernal units. All right, Phlebuster's going to start sieging up this central base from Wallace here. Now it's dragon versus dragons. Oh man, but the dragons are going to be taking so many shots here from these Hellborn. We're going to see a lot of these Weavers pulling in the Magmadons, and the Magmadons that are still on the ground aren't able to quite stomp forward just yet. We see so many Fiends from Phlebuster trying to surge on forward, but they're having trouble getting that good surface area that they need to. But it looks like they are able to chase Wallace out of the center, and this entire base is now forfeit. Oh, that's another visual thing that I didn't notice before, but it used to be... There used to be this visual effect of like a pillar of fire every time a Hellborn hit a structure, and it would be huge. And I think that got tweaked a little bit here in the holiday patch as well. Hey! And then Wallace says GG. Oh, and those were all the production structures too that I was talking about. Man, that is a lot of conclaves in a single vault. Yeah. Yeah, I think you need a little bit more of a beefier front line, but no, that was a great match. Thanks for the submission, Phlebuster.